I call this May 2nd meeting of the Paducah Planning and Zoning Commission to order. And if you would, please stand and join us as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Summer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Benberry, Mr. Bradford, Mr. Morrison,
Here.
Ms. Shramke,
Here.
Mr. Shadle,
Here.
Mr. Wade,
Here.
Chair Cresilius.
Here. Ms. Shramke, I believe you have the minutes motion.
I do. I move that the reading of the minutes for April 18th, 2016 be waived and that the minutes of said meeting as prepared by the secretary be approved as written.
Second.
Second by Morrison. Are there any corrections, changes? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Shramke,
Aye.
Mr. Shadle,
Aye.
Mr. Wade,
Aye.
Mr. Morrison,
Aye.
Chair Cresilius.
Aye. We have 3 items of old business, which will each need to be removed from the table separately. Mr. Shadle, if you would read us the first item of business, please.
Yes. I move that this commission remove from the table an application of the Urban Renewal and Community Development Agency for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 1532 Monroe Street and 214, 216 North 16th Street.
Second.
Second by Morrison.
Ready?
Yes, sure.
Mr. Shadle?
No. Do you have a presentation for us?
Oh,
Discussion?
I was waiting on the next
No.
motion. Yes, we have received a revised plat, and it's been drawn according to the deed with the 60-foot frontage on Monroe, and we've looked at it, and engineering's looked at it, and we don't have any comments.
Would you read the motion for us again, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I move that this commission receive and file an application of the Urban Renewal and Community Development Agency for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 1532 Monroe Street.
Floor that's been moved.
Oh, that's
Second.
right.
We need to vote.
Okay. Sorry.
All right.
Go ahead and vote, please.
I'm not through.
No, it
No,
was
but
on the
we
first.
We
have
have
a
to
previous
vote
motion
on,
that has
and I'm
all-
not sure we need to read the motion again if we just remove it from the table, do we?
Well, one's to remove it from the table, and the other is the actual approval.
Well,
No, you're right.
we actually already read the motion at the meeting when
tabled
we
it, then
tabled
we're
it, so
taking
it
it
doesn't
off
have
the
to be done
table.
again.
And that motion
Yes.
then is in full, but your
It's still there.
motion needs to be
Yes.
voted on to remove.
That's fine. Please, call the roll.
Mr. Shadle,
Aye.
Mr. Wade,
Aye.
Mr. Morrison,
Aye.
Ms. Shramke,
Aye.
Chair Cresilius.
Aye. Now, the motion,
It's on the floor.
as it was already presented, yes. Would you all like to do a presentation on that?
Again.
Well, yeah, please.
This plat was submitted before. You'll notice that on Monroe Street is 60 foot, which is in accordance with the deed. We didn't have any additional comments on the plat. It looked fine to engineering and planning.
Are there any comments?
I checked with Angie before we met at the engineering office, and she said that plat as presented to us today, they are in agreement with because it matches up with what the city shows
Good.
on their maps
Good, that's what we need.
and the deeds.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Shadle,
Aye.
Mr. Wade,
Aye.
Mr. Morrison,
Aye.
Ms. Shramke,
Aye.
Chair Cresilius.
Aye. Mr. Wade, you have to read as the motion to remove from the table, please.
I move that a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the Proposed Text Amendment of the Paducah Zoning Ordinance by amending Section 126-106 Convenience and Service Zone B1 be removed from the table.
Second.
So,
Second by Shramky. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Morrison?
Aye.
Ms. Shramky?
Aye.
Mr. Shadle?
aye.
Chair Casillas?
Aye. Now, would you like to give the presentation?
Yes, thank you.
You almost started, didn't you?
Almost. I got a call today from the director of the funeral home that was asking for this text amendment to allow crematoriums in the B1 zone. And he is asking for this to be removed off the agenda completely because he can't get his prospects lined up to make that happen at this time. And he doesn't know exactly when. So in the revised staff report in front of you, we are asking for that to be removed from the agenda.
So do we need a new motion now to remove this from the agenda?
Yes, because it was tabled, now it's back up.
Yes,
Now we'll
exactly.
take it off, and we're just going to remove it.
Right.
Make a motion to remove the item from the agenda.
Second.
Second from Shramky. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Morrison?
Aye.
Ms. Shramky?
Aye.
Mr. Shadle?
Aye.
Chair Casillas?
Aye. Mr. Morrison, you have the third item of business?
Yes, ma'am. I move that a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the Proposed Text Amendment of the Paducah Zoning Ordinance by amending Section 126-108 Downtown Business Town Live Zone B2T be removed from the table."
Second?
Second by Shadle. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Morrison?
Aye.
Ms. Shramky?
Aye.
Mr. Shadle?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Chair Casillas?
Aye.
This is along the same lines as the first one. Since we're in no hurry for this text amendment for the B2T zone, we don't have a deadline or we don't have any project pressing for that text amendment. We're asking, the city's asking for this to be removed from the agenda as well until we have another text amendment that we do have something to bring to you all that requires action at that time. We don't want to move forward with just one and kind of piecemeal the ordinance. What we'd rather do is have one or more than one text amendment. That way we're not spending the cost of publishing the ordinance and things like that. So,
I would entertain a motion that this be removed from the agenda.
I make such a motion that we remove it.
Second.
Second by Wade. Excuse me. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Morrison,
Aye.
Ms. Shramky,
Aye.
Mr. Shadle,
Aye.
Mr. Wade,
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. Ms. Shramky, you have the Higdon Development Incorporated public hearing.
I do. I move that the preliminary subdivision plan for Greenway Village LLC be approved and that the matter be continued generally pending submission of a final plat incorporating all requirements made known to the applicant at the conclusion of the hearing.
Second?
Second by Shadle. This is a public hearing, and is there anyone here to speak in favor?
Well, what staff had talked to Mr. Goins about earlier today, this didn't quite get completely researched and looked at this time, and what we're asking for is for it to be tabled until the next meeting.
Just to be clear on that, I don't, what I was told, engineering didn't finish a review. I mean, we're not wanting to table it. I mean, we'd love to get this approved
I'm sure.
tonight, but I don't know what happened there. But anyway, guess we'll wait another 2 weeks.
I apologize for that. I'll entertain a motion that we table this item to our next.
Can
So moved.
can I have clarification again of why we're tabling it? I'm confused.
Angie was sick.
Pardon?
Angie in the engineering department. She reviews the plats, and she was out sick 2 days last week and couldn't provide comments.
Does she have a backup?
Apparently not.
Perhaps she should have. That would be nice. Cross-training is good.
So move.
Second.
Second by Wade. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Shadle?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Morrison?
Aye.
Mr. Shramky?
Aye.
Chair Cresilius.
Aye. Ms. Shramky, are we going to table the next motion as well? Okay. Could we have that motion, please?
I move that this commission receive and file the application of Greenway Village LLC for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 3482 Trailhead Drive. I further move that the requested approval be given and compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
Second by Morrison.
Well, what this is the first condominium is a fiveplex that has already been constructed, that is actually part of the preliminary development plan that the public hearing was for, which we're not having. But this is just to establish the first 5 units on that building that is already been completed. So we're filing this waiver plat to establish those 5 units, so they can be established and sold. And then moving forward, there will be building several more, which were shown on, that'll be included on the preliminary plan, and then ultimately the final plat.
And I saw certification from the, I guess, building inspector that it had been built in accordance with this. So, that's always something that you want to make sure that, because this is a condominium and all you're selling is airspace.
Right.
So you need the interior. And you said that the plan's doing this. Somewhere I saw also that the
Might have been in the staff report.
less, okay, maybe it was less than the staff report, yeah, okay.
I think right here's what you was talking about.
Yeah, that's okay. Building, right. See, I do read it.
I think we've already asked you this before, but there are firewalls between each of these units.
Correct,
are there not?
yes.
Did you bring that back and sign today?
I sure did,
You signed it yourself?
yes.
Other comments?
Just for my clarification, the floodplain, is it north or south of this line?
It is south of that line, and what we did in order to get an actual building permit before it was constructed, we had to file we completed an elevation certificate and a letter of map amendment with FEMA to get that structure itself certified outside of the floodplain. That area and the building was built up outside of that. But the map, technically that's still the boundary on the
Until it's
map.
Republished, okay.
Yeah,
So the majority would be located within the floodplain, however, it is elevated and
Correct.
A letter of map amendment has been received.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that was all filed with engineering department as well.
Do the condo owners have the right to build any ancillary structures?
I don't think so. We'll be filing the restricted covenants and master deed and declaration and all that, along with the plat, but I mean, I'm not sure, I haven't read them thoroughly, but I doubt they'll be able to build accessory structures.
Because those would be in the floodplain unless they were elevated also.
Exactly.
Right.
Sheds or anything.
Yeah, I kinda doubt on this development they would allow anything like
I
that.
do too, but I have to ask.
Okay.
All they get is what's inside.
That would be the norm, yes.
Any other comments? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Shramky?
Aye.
Badel?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Morrison?
Aye.
Chair Chrysillius.
Aye. If there is no other business to come before the commission tonight, we stand adjourned.